Hi everybody, so this is my next corset review, and this is the Leather Geometric Cincher from Miss Martha's Corset Shop. So here's the front, side, the back, and the other side. The height of the center front here is 12 inches, and on the side here it's 8 inches, quite short. So that's why I would consider this a waist cincher instead of a full underbust corset. You can see it cuts high above the hip here, and I don't experience any pinching whatsoever on my rib cage or my hips. It's a quite curvy corset. I wanted all of you to be aware that the size I'm wearing right now is a size medium. This has a waist of 22 inches. I originally thought that I would fit a small because when I was perusing the website, they recommended size small for natural waists between 24 and 28, and my natural waist is 27 inches. However, when I received the small, I realized that it had a waist of only 18 inches, and so it was far too small for me, especially because Miss Martha recommends that you only cinch the corsets to about 2 inches smaller than your natural waistline. Fortunately, Miss Martha has excellent customer service, and I was able to replace the corset for a larger size, absolutely no questions asked. So for any of you who are considering ordering from her shop, just be aware that her corsets do run a little bit small. So when ordering your size, I would advise ordering the same size as your natural waist, not the size of your waist 2 inches smaller. And if you are kind of on the upper end of one of those sizes, then I would advise ordering up a size as I did. However, one thing that I can say is Miss Martha offers probably the largest range of sizes for off-the-rack corsets that I have ever seen, being able to fit people with waists as small as 18 inches and as large as 52 inches. So for any of you full-figured ladies who have trouble finding corsets in your size for off-the-rack corset companies, I would definitely recommend checking out her website. So here's the geometric cincher lying flat, and you can see for the material the outer layer is leather and it's cut in a ribbon corset style with these horizontal panels here. The inner layer, as you can see if I open it up, and the inner layer is this black twill that you see in here. Now the leather itself, it's very good quality. It seems to be of good garment quality. It's not too heavy like a belt or anything. It's still very soft. However, the leather smell was a bit overwhelming, especially when I first took this out of the package. I'm very sensitive to smells in general, and I found that I had to leave this corset to air out in an open, ventilated area for about a week after I received it. For other people, this might not be that much of an issue. Your sense of smell might not be that sensitive, but I just wanted to let you know. So for the construction of this corset, there are 5 main panels here. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 of these panels, the 2 with the horizontal stitching right here, these are the ones that create the most shape in the corset. Ribbon style panels, they actually have 5 smaller panels within them. And then the vertical panels here, here, and here, these are the ones that hold the hardware. So the bones, the busk, the grommets, etc. It looks and feels as if the bones are sandwiched between 2 layers of leather, both here, and same with the busk. It's sandwiched within leather, and then on the inside here, you can see that the twill is a floating liner. And if I hold this a little bit closer, you can see that there are also 6 garter tabs, 3 on each side, so you have the option of wearing this corset with garters if you want to. I believe that there is no waist tape for this corset, but I think that is fairly typical of a ribbon style corset. In fact, I can't really think of any ribbon corsets that do include a waist tape. One thing that Miss Martha says about her corsets, however, is that her corsets are not made for waist training or extreme tight lacing. They're really designed to be worn at about a 2-inch reduction, so I just want to let you know that. And here's a close-up of the binding. You can see that it's also made out of leather. It's machine stitched both on the inside and the outside. On the outside here, you can see that it's folded under, and then on the inside, they didn't fold it under, they just stitched it and then clipped it very closely to the stitching right there. And that is fairly typical of any sort of leather or vinyl binding on corsets. This is a way of reducing bulk. So here you can see the Modesty panel, and the first thing you'll notice is that it is massive. It's actually almost 10 inches wide, and it has a single bone running vertically through the center here. It's very flexible, so I still have to adjust it when lacing, but it's really not too bad. I love how wide it is. So this corset can suit a wide range of sizes. This is also finished in leather on the outside, and then the floating liner of twill on the inside. And on the front here, you can see that there is a Modesty placket behind the busk, also finished in leather, and it's flexible as well. And here's the busk itself. It's 11 inches long and it's very heavy duty. It's 1 inch wide on each side. It has 5 pins here, and you can see that it is quite a bit stiffer than your standard flexible busk. And I'm not sure if you can see this, but around the loop side of the busk is just one piece of leather, and they cut slits into the leather to put the loops through instead of, say, taking two separate pieces of leather, joining them with a seam and just leaving the seams open for these loops here. I've heard that this can be stronger as long as the fabric doesn't fray around these loops here and leather doesn't fray, so I'm pretty happy with how it's held up. In terms of the boning, this is extremely lightly boned. There are only 8 bones in this entire corset, not including the busk. So there are 2 1/4 inch wide spiral steel bones on each side, the side panel here, and then there are another 2 steel flats sandwiching the grommets. So double that for the other side, that gives you 8. Here are the grommets, and there are 24 2-part size 0 grommets, so 12 on each side. The grommets and the washers both have a very large lip around the hole, which I really like. This way, if the leather happens to stretch, then the holes will not get too big and let the grommet fall out. So as you can see here, the outside of the grommets, they're fine, they're very smooth. You don't see any fraying, stretching, popping out. Here are the inside of the grommets, and on the inside, on a few of the grommets, they have a few very, very tiny splits in them, but that's forgivable for me because it doesn't seem to catch on the laces at all. And here are the laces. They are flat braided nylon shoelace style laces in black, obviously, and they have a little bit of spring to them. They are a tad bulky, so they don't slide through the grommets quite as well as a thinner one would, but these laces are still very strong and very difficult to break. The price for this corset in leather is $175 US, so that's actually very reasonable, and there's no markup for any of the larger sizes. If you prefer this corset in silk, then that's $170. So that's all for this corset review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, leave a comment down below, and I will talk to you all next time. Bye!